Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are live again. It seemed like all of a sudden everything switched off from the restream side of things, but we are back.
It's that bloody dingo that I had, mate. I told him, my pet dingo, I put him on a leash. He escaped it. He went nimbling on that GPB broadcasting cable and tried to deny you that one. But you cannot deny Johnny from the pole position there. But what is that, 0.3 thousandths of a second there from Matthias Morris?
Something like that.
Bathurst? Are you kidding me, Dan?
Well, 3 thousandths of a second was the gap in the end. Johnny ahead of Matthias. David ahead of Stephen. Manuel Solozano in P5. Joel Jacklin P6. Scotty Galligan in P7. And Charles Crossage in P8. They've all gone down to the grid. 5 red lights are going to be coming on very soon. Johnny Amby. There he is across the line. And he started this race. David Unger with a good start. Ahead of Matthias Moraes. He's going to have a little look down the inside. Johnny has absolutely bolted from the start. But what a start from David Unger too. Not bad at all. Stephen Place in P4. Manuel Solozano in P5. Scotty Galligan already up 1. And about to make that 2 on the back of Manuel Solozano at the moment. But so far, Biggles, everyone got through cleanly.
Well, he's going to make a run, of course, to Australia here. He's got I was going to say 50,000, probably about 20 or so, and change 1,000 fans there from Scotty. He didn't even set a call to the 666 machine, trying to make his way up 1 position gain there. But, of course, don't forget about Dave Unger from down under, making his way up in the P2 at the moment. The 2 Aussies on the grid there, but Johnny's leading this race currently at the moment. And there is a little bit of action from Charlesy.
Crossage hit the wall, I think, going into Wright Park and coming out of Griffin's Mount. And that's not going to do his car any good. ExxonMobil sponsored rear wing is already bent again. And he's off the track again, going through McPhillippi Park. Johnny Amby, though, is leading the way. And David Unger in P2 and Matthias Moraes in P3. Matthias, let me tell you one thing here. Matthias is looking absolutely rapid. So is David Unger, though.
Yeah, down the Colorado straight, of course, still lifting your way up into the hill, and then get ready to go through the chase section, of course, and then get it on the power there. A little bit too far back at the bottom. You can't spot that green machine. It's glowing in the background there, but then again, you can spot Johnny, and you can spot David. As you can see, Davey in P2, getting around through the chase right now, getting some massive power down. And then, of course, oh, not like that, unfortunately, for Scotty. Oh, keep out of the fence, Scott Star. Where's Scott going? I thought he said he found some outback adventure there in Australia, but no, he didn't. But then again, 666 machine has a mountain of adventure in the mountain of Bathurst to climb his way back up to the field. And that's not why you take the final exit corner, is it?
Scotty. That is not what you want to be seeing. And Scotty Galligan is, I think, not going to win the Europe because he was pretty far off, and neither is he going to win the Americas, I think. Because he's already about 4.6 seconds off the back of Crossage, who himself is 5.8 off the back of Joel Jacklin. So he's definitely, if he is going to win it, made it 10 times more difficult for himself. Johnny Amby still leading the way out of Unger Moraes in place. P4.
Probably just found that bat that I just found to play in my broadcasting booth there. The Gladiators pouncing their way up through the mountain there. You can see there, Johnny Hammer, a little bit of pressure there from David Unger, and of course Matthias Morris is there in the mix there. And guess what, Stevie? Elbows coming up. What happens with your elbows? Elbows out racing?
Pretty sure with Stephen Place, he was on it during the Europe one. So he's going to try and do that again in the Americas. He was quick. However, I do love how CJ put the incident from Galligan in chat. He said, Galligan off and around. So I don't think anyone expected this to happen. Coming into this round, a man who knows every inch
It's got to be a run, isn't it? Is it Matthias making a run currently at the moment? And David into David Town here in Australia. There's going to be boos from the audience if the Brazilian gets past the Aussie into the final couple of turns. Go through the chasing course underneath the, I can't remember what it was called there. There is Armor All course there. You got to make sure you shine your cars the best way you possibly can. There it is. But forget about that. Do this. Final couple of corners. Start a lap of Bathurst. Survive another lap of Bathurst, as Johnny is little in this one.
What I think you have to do, and it is so difficult, Biggles, because you can see even someone who knows every inch, every millimeter of this track, Scotty Gallagher, who grew up here on this track being an Australian, even he can make mistakes, so it's easily done for anyone else if he can do it. However, David Unger, the other Australian on this track, he's in P3 and he at the moment has a home turf podium. Just got overtaken by Matthias Barrage, like you said, some boos from the crowd, but David Unger in the end has to do it on pure pace and pure power from himself. Matthias Barrage is going to try and overtake Johnny Hamby ahead of him. P1. However, you can say safely, Biggles, that the run up through Quarry Bent, the cutting, the whole mountain down to Forest Elbow, it's pretty much single file.
Johnny's under pressure right now. Matthias is on a mission, man on a machine. And yeah, just obviously joking about the booze, of course, because Australians really support any motor racing drivers all around the planet here. Of course, they'd be loving to go for the Australians, but they will definitely not be booing this man in P2. Because Matthias is on fire here. Getting a good exit out of here. And down the Conrad Straight. This is a perfect place to get those gears up there. 134 miles an hour. Fifth gear. Is he going to do anything about this? Hug and type. A little bit of background in there too as well. To Stevie's trying to make a place there as well. But one pitch at one time. Here's Matthias. He's going for it. He's going to dig his way into Australia. He's going to dig his way in to the chase. And he's going to dig his way into the lead of this race. Welcome along. This is a radical SR8 series there. Wow.
A great overtake by Matthias Moraes. So it was for Stephen Place, and that means that the Aussie, David Unger, is down in P4 now. So the opening stages of this race for all Aussies, not as they would have wanted. The 54 down the order. Gallagher all the way down the order in P8. So Stephen Place now all over the back of Johnny Hamby. He's going to try and make that move going into Quarry Bend. Both of them have slipstream. Stephen Place is a bit closer to Johnny Hamby than Johnny Hamby's to Matthias Moraes. He has to look down the inside. Can't make it stick though. The ones who have the inside there, Bigglesy, move around the outside is very much impossible.
Yeah, but now it's you conquering the hill. And you conquering those little barriers out there that will take no prisoners. Of course, what do you think the British sent all the prisoners down here to Australia? And there they are, right there. The British are basically guarding you on the track at this point, and very well those drivers are aware of it. They start to drop Mr. David a little bit back on this one, but I'll tell you what, and they're dropping no Stevie Place right now. Stevie wanted to make his place up there, but the problem is he has to follow all the way down the dipper and then make his way, hopefully, into the chase a little bit further after Conrad Straight.
Moraes, like I said, is looking really quick here. Going to try and increase the gap to Hamby behind. However, Stephen Place is all over the back of Hamby, who will now get slipstream too. But I have a feeling that Stephen Place is going to go for this. Here we go, pulls to the inside for the chase. Down the Conrad Straight, there's a bit of slipstream for Johnny Hamby on the outside. However, the outside move, so easily done at the chase. It's one of the easiest corners to overtake around the outside. And there we go, Stephen Place showing you that again. However, don't run onto the grass. Johnny Hamby is going to come back at him. He caught David Unger on the back of Johnny now. But it's now all on Stephen Place to try and chase down the Brazilian of Matthias Moraes. Try and keep him away from another victory. Johnny Hamby is under pressure from the Australian himself, who wants to get onto the podium at least here for the home crowds.
Don't you worry about Dave Unger. He knows exactly what corners to take, what place, what position. He's like, Stevie, all right, it's your place to be currently in P2, but mate, I grew up around here, okay? I know where the spiders, snakes, wallabies, koalas, and all that sort of jazz are, so he knows to get this done. Plenty of time in this race to get it done. And the man then down Unger. There we go at the moment.
Hey.
But there it is. Those
There
punts,
it
of course,
is.
going back to Joel Jacklin, of course, who's going to try to fight their way up to the mountain. Of course, not going to overtake opportunities, but at this point, isn't it, Dan? It's more about you keeping it out of the fence when you go conquering the mountain.
Yeah, it is. Oh, there we saw some contact with the wall for Solorzano. However, doesn't seem to have done anything. That's the margins they're playing with. Just leaving a bit of paint there, that's all he did. Wants to put his signature onto these mountain walls, as so many drivers already have done in the past.
Oh, Stevie! Out! Whoa, little trick in there. Stevie, stop playing those magic tricks on me, my friend.
I was going to say the same. I was about to switch to Steven, see where he had crashed, but he hadn't. However, David Unger is all over the back of him.
Look at this, Dan. You have top 4. Separated by literally about a second and change in the mountain. This is a big track, remember, a long track. Not an easy track to conquer, and to see these gladiators battling their way up through here is absolutely amazing. Of course, they're going to make their way through the chase, and of course, then down into that final couple of corners. Then they're going to start it all over again. Interesting. Overtaking opportunities, of course, will be into turn 1, Hell's Corner. It's Hell's Corner for a reason, my friend. You're either going to heaven or hell if you get that one cooked up wrong.
There we go. Stephen Place is caught up to the back of Matias Moraes. Here he is. There's the Brazilian right ahead of us. And where is Matias Moraes going to be under pressure here from Place? He's got a good exit out of the first corner, Hell Corner. Down the mountain straight into Quarry Bend.
He's going Murray's now. When are you going to go with Murray's here? You got to be close enough. You see that Morris is placing that car in the right place. And Stevie knows, well, I want to place my car somewhere a little bit on that one. You have to follow at this point. You have to follow. There's no opportunities here because you got to dip it down a little bit there. 122 miles.
Oh, Moraes has gone wide.
Oh, yes, but there's nowhere to go here. You climb up the hill. That's a point you can make a mistake. And it's just follow the leader, isn't it? You can see that Morris is slipping and sliding a little bit in the rear end there. Stevie's going to be bold and brave trying anything up here as he dips his way back down the hill. The mountain conquers some. It will destroy others.
He couldn't ride.
Opportunity.
No, he's not going to do it. I thought for a second he was going to try and do it.
This is the only runoff area you have for at least 5 or 6 corners. And then it's all about the exit down out of the elbow and the car right here. Can you get the exit speed? Because it's a tight corner. Tuck it up, and then bang! Suck it up, Buttercup on the power. But there it is. I have to say, Matthias hold that one off quite well. Pressure time.
Oh, Matias Moraes. About 5-6 tenths was the gap at the beginning. Now you can see that slipstream doing its work. Look at how quick he's gaining. But it's never going to be enough. He needs to be within 3.5 tenths, really, to try and go at it. There goes Stephen Place once again. He'll be back soon. There he is, back up into second. Here's Matias Moraes. Let's go and have a look back at Stephen Place behind us. There he is. There's the Canadian. But Moraes is going to have his work cut out for him here.
It's called a motor race, and it's called Australia, and it's called...
He's all over him, Stephen Place. However, like Pickle said last time, round 2, can't really make a move on this part of the track. Old Jacklin in P6 on the back of Solorzano 2.
I've seen in the past there, Dan, the only move I've ever seen of somebody jumping a position through there is actually a kangaroo in Australia. That's about it.
I think I saw a highlight of Mr. Skippy.
Yeah. Skip's done, yeah. Uncle Skip. That's how we go by Uncle Skip in Australia. Uncle Skip star. Here we go. But it was a very good exit, I have to say, from Stephen Place down the Conrad Straight.
It's going to have to be a launch,
That is a great, because that means long. Check your Twitter messages and your Instagram right now and hit your thumbs up and like and subscribe, because if Stevie's going to get a job done here, he's going to have to do
contact! Contact! Matthias Moraes is off the track! And we saw that on board. The rear wing is bent. Stay out of the way for everyone else, though. Oi, Aussie, oi.
Yeah.
David Unger happens to P2.
Oi on that one, will they, at the moment, man? But there was entertainment for sure. Not for some of the drivers. But just like that, isn't it? Just like that, the mountain bites the animals of these gladiators around the arena here. Lap 8. Damn, lap 8. We still have 15 minutes to go of this.
Stephen plays back down on the P3. Johnny Amby up in P1 now. David Unger, that has allowed him, the Australian, to go back up into P2. So stars aligning for him at the moment. However, we're only halfway through this race. He still needs to keep his car there. And I have a feeling that Stephen Place is going to be trying to do everything he can to keep him away from that. Joel Jacklin is now up into P5. This fight is now for P4. It was P5 before. However, with Moraes dropping out of that position, this battle now for P4. Sorosano is desperately trying to keep Jacklin behind him. 2.5 tenths is the gap. Same for the drivers up front. David Unger, the Australian, is he going to send it around the outside of Skyline? He's not.
No,
he'd been a brave man if he did that.
In fact, he's made a mistake, if anything. But then Stephen Place, you can't dive it up the inside there, my friend. Otherwise, 2 into the fence equals no result for either of the drivers. And very clever that Stevie had to back off on that one. He has to get, obviously, the biggest egg right here, the Forest Elbow. You got to get it of all things. You got to get it. I think Stephen is clever on that one. He's got a great exit even before the corner. And now it's just a straight drag fight all the way up and down the bottom of the hill. And before you get into the chase.
Get close to it. Yes, there you go, Unger. Carry it on the inside. He's not going to do it. Stephen Place has got past. And he can now chase down Johnny Amby ahead of him. Place has not been in P1
perfectly.
yet.
A little mistake there from David. He knows you don't. One place you want to make a mistake, of course, is out of Forest Hill. Another place you don't want to make a mistake, of course, the Hell's Corner, which is your turn 2 after turn 1, essentially, after you pass this racing line, finish straight right here. Very short one. In the outback of Australia, because we're not mucking about in Australia, mate. We're like, we're not going to build up all this hype on the state line finish. Let's get straight into the action, which you do at a Hell's Corner right here. And then, as you can see, the pictures right here, Joel Jacklin at the moment try to bring it here to Mr. Manuel as they make their way up into Murray's Bend. And that's another opportunity, but so close down, so close to someone now.
The Gallagher up to P6, he's overtaken Moraes. Jacklin is next, 2.3 seconds up the road. I'll tell you one thing, he could still do this, Scotty Gallagher. He's not out of this yet. He was quick in practice, about 5-6 tenths quicker than anyone else. At the moment, does not have the fastest lap. He has a 58.34, and he's the only one into the 58s, together with Matthias Moraes, who has a 58.96. He's on a roll. He's Scotty Gallagher at the moment. And he's giving it
down under, of course, mate. Look at that. He's got the total Australian. Proud to be an Aussie livery on that one, especially in the mountain in Australia. The place, the birthplace of Australian motorsports right here. But then again, he's got a tall order. I'm not going into those bets again, my friend Dan, because last time I went a bet against James as a driver coming back through the field there, I basically donated 20 quid to a great charity, of course, that the JPB network will broadcast in the future. But then again, you know what? If I'm going to eat my money with my words, it's best to go to a charity. So Scotty, I'm not quite sure I'm gonna put the punt on you on this one. Sorry, put the put my money where my mouth is and back you at this point. But all right, I'll say this right now. I'll throw it out there. Scotty for a podium. How's that sound?
Oh, Amby's off. What has Amby done? I think he had a little bit of a spin coming out of the last corner. And look what that has done. That has backed it right up to where Scotty Gallagher was. It's the second now for Scotty Gallagher to the back of driver in P5, Joel Jacklin. and then basically he's within arm's reach of the podium. So you might well be right here, Biggles.
Matthews running for a pit lane, so get that job done now, early. We'll see. 11 minutes change to go. Climbing up to the mountain right now. Ada Murray's all the way up there. Johnny at the moment, as you can see. A little bit of pressure from behind from Manuel, Joel Jacqueline, and Scotty is lurking in the background here as you make your way up through the mountain there. Wave to the kangaroos, wave to the wallabies, and wave to all the fans. Yeah, certainly wave to CJ out there in the chat. CJ waving back.
Well, Scotty Gallagher, if he didn't spin, if he didn't do anything that he did at the start of this race, he would be leading by now, I feel. But it is what it is. You have to work with what you've got. Scotty Gallagher is doing that at the moment. The run down to Forest Elbow is going to be important. The run out of Forest Elbow, equally as important. Is he going to be able to get onto the back of Jacqueline? Yes, he is.
Maybe a 2-for-1 special. They're going to go great slipstream here in the outback of Australia, New South Wales. Of course, 3 hours. Hope you enjoyed your flight here to Bathurst. Look at this. He's got to go for it, Scott Starr. You have to, my friend. The Aussies are going to be so proud if you get the job done, and he has. Tuck his way in there and settle for another day. Scotty up into P4 at the moment. A little bit of smoke there at the background there, but Stephen Place leading this one. But remember, Matthias has made that pit stop. But what's happening further back here with Davey?
Is for P2. Hamby's gone up into P2. Unger has dropped down. I have a feeling that has something to do with whatever the cloud was coming out of the chase.
Now, what are the pit stops there, Dan? Shouldn't you be in the 10-minute? Oh, yes, exactly right.
There is no pit stop. So Matthias Moraes, he went into pit lane, but it was not completely on his own. Unger is about to drop down another position. So Lozano has just got past Unger too.
Yay, and Murray's mate, you got to get on the racing line. He had lost it to Scotty. He's lost it to Jacqueline as well. So, well, when Aussie goes up there, Joel goes in there. Dave Unger, what did you make a mistake there? A crucial mistake and a crucial turn up the hill. And now you just have to follow the leader at this point. Wow. Just like that. You know how it feels, Dan. I mean, not like you're driving the pit lane entrance and getting it all wrong, but getting it all wrong up through the mountain is not the place you want to be doing.
Oh, yes, there we go. I had to get it in there, didn't you? This is about what he was talking about is at least 1.5 months ago now. And they still remember it like it was yesterday. However, Scotty Gallagher remembers being up in P3 like it was yesterday. And he's going to have another go at it.
Here. Yeah, I might be a little bit too far away here. Remember, it's a long stretch go up the hill here. My Nissan Skyline that I used to drive there, Dan, was the highest record in Bathurst for many, many years back in the 90s, before you were born. But forget about that right now. He's too far back to do anything. He's basically preying on a little mistake, maybe out of the final turn, and I don't know, pick on Hell's corner.
Jacqueline is gone!
Jacqueline!
Joel, Jacqueline, what have you done, sir? Let's take a look at what exactly you
back
did
to Scotty.
there.
Scotty on Hell's corner. Yeah, we'll go back and look at that one because, yeah, that was a little mistake, isn't it? Threw it out of the chase. That's just too much on the loud pedal. As James would say, too many beans.
This is what happened the lap before. Johnny Amby into the first corner. Just a bit wide there. And that is what caused him to lose all those positions. Go back to the live action.
Yeah, but CJ can't be throwing those puns out there. CJ
Scotty Gallagher around the outside. Biggles hold up. The Australian going forward again.
No, he's going to back off. He has to back off. There's no way you're going to get through here, Scotty. No way. Send the dummy. That's all it was, mate. A dummy. CJ out there before, saying in the chat there, Jacqueline around. Actually, a really good pun, my friend. You're going to put us out of a job with those puns.
Yeah, I mean, if once you're doing it, you did it before, David, the thunder from that Unger. Now CJ's doing it too. Why not? We have Wesley Franco in chat too. Welcome into the stream. Welcome in all. Moraes dead. He goes,
yeah, what happened? Actually, that was interesting because the Brazilian was super massively fast here.
To Do you remember down at the chase, the incident with Stephen Place?
Oh, now I do remember. Oh,
Here we go, Scotty Gallagher, 2 for 1 maybe.
Down the Conrod straight. It's going to be maximum speed. Look at this, 5th gear, 6th gear. Just put your pedal to the absolute metal. But who's going to lift first will be the question here in the outback of Australia. That's on an outback group. Situation. It's going to set a hole in here. Hanby, Gallagher. Wow.
Scotty got the better exit. So now he's going to go for it. Into Murray's corner, around the outside of Murray's corner. Can he carry it the long way around? No, he can't. He's going to go for the better exit, and he gets the better exit down into Hell Corner.
Yeah, Hell's Corner. There's a reason why it's called Hell's Corner. Who's bold and brave to venture into the dark side on that one? Well, they actually, I think they've actually elected to say that was too much. Okay, those final couple of corners, the exit of those. Yeah, at that point is like, all right, let's just see how we go up the mountain right now.
Got him out in front of me. However, the outside, it's impossible to make that move. You would say it's impossible to make that move. However, Scotty tried it, and it looked for a second he was going to be able to pull it off. But this time around, not even the Australian, who knows every inch, every centimetre, every millimetre of this track, even he can't pull off a move on the outside there. This would be for P2. Don't look at Stephen Place. He just has a little internet connection issues. That's why he's sometimes dropping down. This is Scotty Gallagher with a real shot at P2 here.
Yeah, this is Australia. This is Bathurst. This is one of the greatest motor racing tracks you're going to find on the planet. You go up and down.
Oh, Scotty Gallagher is gone!
Just like that, Scotty went in the fence. Massive pile up. What's happening to Scott?
Goodness me, Biggles. That's it. It's done. It's all over. All hope for Australia lies in the hands of David Unger now. David Unger in P4, Manuel Solorzano. The pressure is off now. But what a crash from Scotty Gallagher. Did the same on the last lap in the European one. That was going down into Quarry Bend. This is coming down through Skyline. Just gets a bit unsettled.
Oh, I don't want to watch it then. He had to lift off because he had too much speed going through there. And he got T-boned massively on the side. And you know by who?
David Unger was the driver who T-boned him. So I don't think David Unger...
each other at the mountain. What's going on, blokes? Not deliberately, of course. Not deliberately. And you have to give it, because you have to give it to Scotty. He was just lifting off there. He got so much speed through there. And you got to remember, you're going down the mountain at that point. Over speeds through the roof. Almost the car is lifting off the track. He's like avoiding and nowhere to go but the old fence spit him. And, well, Scotty, you are well over it being an Australian, mate. Bathurst delivers. Bathurst sends you to a hospital.
Well, that I'm pretty sure it does. Manuel Solorzano, however, saw it all happen in his rearview mirror, and I think was happy that it happened behind him. That would have happened right in front of him. I think that would have been a completely different story. Luckily, Johnny Hanby.
Stevie's still in this, right? He's just got a little bit of the old Canada to Australia latency issues, I have to say. Like, you're playing on a server.
Oh, the other Aussie's gone too! Oh, no. This is calamity for the Aussies. The Aussies at their home track are going to be 7 and 8. Even Matthias Moraes, who crashed earlier on, even he is ahead of them. This is absolutely horrendous.
Dan, can you post the link to where I can denounce my Australian citizenship right now? So I don't want to do that. Come on, Aussies! We can't have a Canadian here. We can't have all the US, all the United States of America, down here in our home back, our territory, taking this one.
Well, Stephen Place is just going to cross the line. And he has taken the white flag. I think it is the white flag. No, it's not. 2 laps to go. So this one and one more. Johnny Hanby behind him. He now has a prime opportunity to come through to P2, maybe, if he can.
Looks like your pet dingoes had a chew at it earlier. How much would that like?
Say that again, Biggles. Can't hear Biggles anymore.
Punch it up there. Having a little technical issues.
Yeah, there he is. Well,
CJ, what do you reckon
Biggles?
about Johnny's dinged up wing there? How much is that going to compromise an opportunity for him to take a possible P2 here?
Well, I was going to say it would have been a lot worse with David Unger behind him, but he has eliminated himself, just like Scotty Gallagher, in exactly the same way. So, both of the Australians, well, out of this race, basically. And in 7 and 8, you expected that. I expected Scotty Gallagher to absolutely run away with this one. But that was not the case. Manuel Solorzano at the moment in P2. Behind, places about 5 seconds to change up the road.
Yeah, Stevie's got this one in the bag. Now, and fortunate events, of course, for the other drivers.
There he is.
Oh. I'm not going to commentate curse there, Stevie, mate.
Neither am I.
He has to lift off a lot here. He's got 5 seconds to change, right? You can just back off at the moment and drive down into a pit lane if you need to safely. We are seeing some little technical issues at the moment there for some of the drivers. That's the reason why you're seeing Stevie go out, in, out, in, out, in. But trust me, he's in the lead of the race. So that's what it is. And he's finished, hopefully, the race at the moment there, Dan.
He is about 1/10 of the way through the track already. And moving quick here. Oh, Solorzano. This was it already.
Whoa.
Checkered flag?
Yeah, it was checkered flag. It's not coming out correctly because I think the timing tables is not matching it. But it will be correct, wouldn't it? There's no way drivers are going to pull off in Bathurst like that. So Stephen has got it done there, Johnny and Joel Jacqueline. We'll get that in a minute there, sort of like there, Dan. Yeah, it's caught us all off guard.
I'm pretty sure I didn't see a white flag. I didn't either, my friend. That's just the way Bathurst works, mate. It's backwards, you know? It's Australia. Just we're down under.
Upside down.
Everything's upside down. So is the checkered flag and the white flag. But Barry do be waving that white flag right now. However, David Unger is going to make it a 6 and 8. So it's not as bad. They're not completely plumb lost. Are the Australians? Matthias Ravage is going to finish in P7. David Unger, what a drive from 40 Australians here, Biggles. And you, as an Australian, any comments on that?
He was fighting, mate. He was putting the Aussie spirit in it. Can't blame him. The mountain conquers some. The mountain does not favour others. There it is what it is.
You would have said, though, that the Australian mountain would have favoured the Australian drivers. But
it doesn't, mate. If you ever realise in Australian motorsports, like even in F1 and stuff, Australians just can't win the home tracks. Never happens. I don't know why. It's just that bad luck. But there are results coming up from the race.
Even plays who wins ahead of Manuel Solorzano in P2, Johnny Amby in P3 and Joel Jacqueline in P4, plus Krosic in P5 ahead of David Unger in P6 with these Mirage P7. Scotty Gallagher finishes it off in P8 with a spectacular crash coming down Skyline into the SS. Yeah, and got hit by Johnny Amby. And we had another airborne crash, which was not ideal. Let's put it like that. However, it is time for some of the interviews because all three of them are ready for us. Start with the man who finished in P3. Johnny Amby, welcome into the booth.
Hey guys, glad to be here.
Well, and we're glad to have you here. What a drive for you. Kind of got given that position about 12 times, I think, once you dropped out of it. But in the end, hey, you came through and you conquered the mountain.
Barely. Yeah, you know, man, these guys are all so good. You make a mistake, they're going to pounce. And I made probably too many mistakes to expect a podium, but I'll take it. I'd rather be lucky than good.
Well, tell us how the race kind of unfolded from the start on in, because I think you were P3 about 4 or 5 times, but also dropped out of it a couple of times.
Yeah. Of course, you know, we're always watching that 666 coming from the back, man. Mary freaking Scott comes up. You know he's coming. I checked a couple of times. I could see he was back there dropping about a second off the leader a lap. So you know even if you've got P3, you got to worry about him. Eh, he came through. He came through like a bull in the china shop, man. And I was gonna give it to him either way. But I know too. Then coming down the mountain, I think he got a little bit squirrely and ate the wall. I hate to see that because he's so it.
Eh. Wait a second. Seems like we've got some audio issues again. Is either one of you two there?
Oh, we're having little issues
There we
with
go.
Dan
We're back.
having I don't know
Back.
what little animals have been eating your internet connection there in Sweden or in anyway. Yes. So Johnny, any last words you'd like to reach out to everybody on your fantastic performance here in Bathurst?
Just thanks a lot to Sandro, to Diego for doing all this, man. This is an incredible league. I hope it keeps growing. I know we had a short field tonight. Maybe they were scared of the mountain, but and of course, you know, if Lucas were here, he would have been running up front too. But this has been a great league to run, and this is my favorite car on the service. I was gutted when they took it out for the SR10 to find this and this type of racing. I'm thrilled, and thank you guys for a wonderful broadcast. And y'all go interview the real winners.
Oh, Dan, do you hear that?
Yeah, well, I think we
Johnny, you're a real winner as well, my friend.
Yeah.
How
appreciate it.
dare you say that? But
I
over to you
appreciate
there.
it.
trying to
Yeah,
play it down a bit here.
Yeah, you know.
Well, Johnny Amby, P3 in the end. Very much.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Pretty happy Johnny, wasn't there? That Biggles. Let's move on with the man himself, Manuel Solorzano. In the end, he saw Scotty Galligan come up behind him in his rearview mirror. But I think he also saw him get airborne like a Boeing 747 in his rearview mirror. Manuel Solorzano, welcome in.
Hi guys, good night. How are you?
Yeah, well, we're good after that. I don't think Scotty is, who was behind you. Did you see that all unfold in your rearview mirror?
No, I couldn't. I wasn't looking the mirror when he crashed. I mean, I wasn't trying to look very much the mirrors because he was super close and he's all over the place and showing the car every time he can. So it's not easy to race with him behind, but it was fun anyway.
Well, we know that Scotty always comes through. Did you at some point believe that it was going to be inevitable that he was going to pass you?
Well, to be honest, I know he's super fast. He's faster than me, and I thought he could pass, of course, but I was planning to making it a little bit hard.
Yeah, Manuel. Let's know your nationality real quick there because the flag didn't really represent where you're from. But could you please let us know the nationality you are driving?
I'm Colombian.
Colombian. All right. See. All right. I'm loving this one. So one Pablo Montoya, you got nothing on this man right now, don't you? Manuel, I'm close. I could probably just like reach out my door and send a flare up there, and we'll be communicating. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
of course.
and once again, as Dan mentioned, you're denying Australians in our backyard. As a Colombian, I'm proud. How proud do you feel to do that?
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, Australians are really fast. Fortunately, in the next race.
You finished P2 in
Yeah.
the Bathurst of Australia, mate. So, yeah, you know what? You're giving it to it. I mean, I love it. I'm an Australian, mate, but I'll tell you what, I've been in Colombia, a beautiful country.
And Steve is really fast as well. So no, no. And honestly, my pace was like not.
And that'll be it. Thank you. Anybody you would like shout out there in either Espanol? I'll understand it, but maybe nobody else there. But Manuel, anyone you want to thank you? Thank you
Yeah,
for-
of course. My wife, which she's my engineer, she's always telling me you have
Spanish or English? They're shouting at vamos, vamos, like rápido, rápido. What are they shouting at you?
Un saludo muy grande para toda mi familia, mi esposa, que yo sé que están viendo en este momento la carrera.
Yes! I love it. Awesome. Family, team, and siblings and everybody. Well, great job there, Manuel. Thank you. Congratulations. You're
thank you.
P2 there. Colombia. Viva Colombia. Yes.
Viva Colombia, gracias. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. A very happy Manuel Solorzano too. All happy faces so far in the top 3. Someone who'll be very happy, I'm sure, is this man from Canada, the Canadian Stephen Placey. Did it again. Stephen, welcome in.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, Stephen, tell us how was this race for you? Because it wasn't plain sailing. You had to come through from the back a bit.
Yeah, been having internet issues all day. Packet loss. That's been the most stressful thing, is trying to drive. Kept getting invalid laps. So paying it all, it was like my dashboard lighting up. I had my race labs cutting in and out. My latency light was blinking. Cars were flashing in and out. It was one of my most intense races.
Well, you said, of course, earlier on the European at least they were good enough to race, it seems like. You kept up your lead in the championship going into the next round. I don't think it's done quite yet, but going into the next round, you're in the best position to win this championship, basically.
Yeah, I've been quite fortunate with people dropping out. But anyways, still, wins are wins. You got to show up to race. But I want to first apologize to Moraes. I went for a move and he went for the move this same line, and I took him out. I feel terrible about it. Straight up want to apologize. I own up to that. That was my mistake, getting too close.
Well, you beat the Australians even. You saw Scotty Gallagher coming through. I think he was about 6-7 tenths quicker at some point every lap than anyone else on the track. Did you at some point not worry about him?
For sure. I was watching my relative, looking for him. I knew he was close, and then he dropped back. And then I saw him again, and he was coming. But I was quite confident that the gap that I had, I could continue it and pull it out.
So Stephen Place conquered the mountain and everything he needed to do to put himself in the best position he could for next week. Thank you very much, Stephen.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
Biggles. All happy faces. And Stephen Place didn't sound, well, I think of the 3 drivers that we had in here, I think least happy, but do you think that has a reason for Stephen Place?
Well, Stephen Place, it's a brilliant job, isn't it? The Canadian driver, it's just like a dominated the mountain. And as an Australian myself there, and unfortunate, as you can see through the other Australians there, so Dave Unger there gets a P6 there. Scotty gave it everything he can and didn't conquer the mountain. Unfortunately, the Aussies didn't conquer the mountain, but Stevie did. So why don't have an even extra smile on his face? Championship could be his. The mountain is definitely his. So even as an Australian, I'm proud that a Canadian has dominated our outback Australia there. So good on you, Stevie.
Thank you very much all for watching. You Biggles, thank you very much for being here. It's been an incredible one. Mount Panorama certainly delivered once again in the Europe one, where we saw the victory for Adam Isaacson ahead of Jürgen Frank, and it was Artur Skondelis in P3 here in the Stephen place that have Johnny Hamby and Joel Jacklin in P3. Australians struggling in the Americas. I thank you very much for watching. Next time round, we'll see you at Imola for the last rounds of the season. Both championships will be decided back then, or in Imola, excuse me. We'll see you there. Until then, stay safe. See you there. Bye-bye.